Hello everyone, I am Deso24, and I hope you all are staying clean and being quarantined. And with that being said, today's episode is between two characters who are fearsome leaders in combat, but on their own, who is strongest, which I'm referring to Marth and Jason Lee Scott, the first Red Ranger, up against the King. Now, keep in mind, for this episode, I am not including any crossovers like, say, the TNT and Justice League, or Smash Bros. Or even the fact I'm not going to be letting Jason to use any of his swords. Just a one-on-one fight to each other. With that being said, let's get to the analysis. Let's start with Mars. Now, based enough, in the Fire Emblem games, there's a land called Draken. Draken is a land that's pretty much been overrun by a tyrant named Molius. Now, for those who don't know who this guy is, well, Molius is pretty much the symbol of a tyrant king, and as such, he is pretty much stood against with his own tyranny, and leading to his people to begin an age of fear and despair. That is, until a young man named Aaron that held against this sorcerer and defeated him and resulted. Things were great until he was returned by another sorcerer named Griffin. Everything was lost until the Aaron's prince Mars had managed to escape, trapped in exile in his way. To save his own people, Mars must have gone to exile and gone on the quest to becoming the hero king. And the fiend Molius wants to brawl and be permanently for good. As for Jason Lee Scott, it's pretty much different. Jason Lee Scott is pretty much a normal teenager at your normal day high school. Everything seems great, hang out with friends, and basically do martial arts. Well, everything went normal for him until he was summoned by the mystical Zordon, the protector of Morphigrid as well as protector of Earth. He has summoned Jason as well as Jason's friends, which Kimberly and Billy etc. have been summoned to become a new team. They're faced out with Rita, where Rita have finally been freed by her summer 2 in that dumpster. And yes, a literal space dumpster in a show. With that being said, Jonah selected Jason as the leader of the new team, with the powers of the Tyrannosaurus, along with his other members possessing the powers of the dinosaurs, and a new ally named Ty Oliver. Jason is now the leader of the core team, the Power Rangers, or for the sake of it, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, faced up with an evil Tuesday to Rita. Alright, with that being said, what do they do? Well, based on Marth as own fairness, he is a skilled fighter, mainly of his techniques as a skilled warrior, especially shown in both anime as well as playing more. And mostly in fact, there are some powers abilities to it, such as Soul, a ability to drain health from enemies that it can hit, or Luna, a strike that instantly have its targets. And knowing that, Marth is also a skilled leader that pretty much can order to charge in a fight. But knowing that, there's also his other powerful technique, that being the actual counter, a faster version of the counter knocks out enemies before Marth back. Usually just take more damage at best. As for Jason, much like Marth, he also has skill Fire and also the skill Swordsman, shown in many opponents. But knowing that, his rare ability is pretty much from the source of his power, the Morphing Grid. Now, Morphing Grid is a bit like Jedi, like 90s Force. With it, Jason is pretty much superhuman at best, from superhuman strength, speed, and durability at least. Plus, knowing that with the sword, which we'll get to that later, he is skilled in swordsman as well. And even without the sword, he is skilled hand-to-hand combat, shown in both Marth and unmorphed scenarios, depending on what scenario that he's up against. And knowing that, he also has a few techniques, especially with some techniques that with his own power sword at least. But knowing that, much like Marth, he also is a very skilled leader when it comes to battle against threats such as Borzed, Rita Bosa, and the upcoming Power Rangers Speed Morpher crossover, as well as Shattered Grid. I really recommend you guys check out that comic, it's really good. Alright, with that being away, let's get to their most strongest arsenal. While Marth has possessed some arsenals, especially some equipment, his main source is pretty much his rare sword, Ripon, or in other words, Franklin. Is that right? Franklin? Anyways, Franklin is mostly the greatest weapon that Marth possesses. Forged by the divine Dragon Naga, which is out made out of her claws, is pretty much as a divine sword, which gives any human a chance to stand up against powerful dragons. Whoever wields it by the people of Marth's bloodline, aka his family tree, he can be able to use it, increasing the wielder speed and enchanted boosts, other powers like blinding shield, as well as capable of giving immortality if someone wields it, as well as giving the ability to heal as well as death. Plus, the sword is pretty much not gonna get any rusted anytime soon, so that's good for starters. As for Jason, he have pretty much a few equipment, that being the Power Blade and even many more. Although his most iconic as well as much more interesting weaponry, that being the Power Sword. The Power Sword is a personal weapon that Jason pretty much used, while his rest of the Power Rangers used like axe, bow, and even side, Jason possessed a Power Sword. The Power Sword pretty much run by two of his fingers, along with the blade. With it, he can fire waves of red energy from it, even performing techniques with it, especially in games as well like the Torrent's Charge. Well, they are both strong, but both of them have their flaws, mostly to Marth. Where Marth may be a king as well as skill fire, he mostly has some flaws. Even with Franklin, he can still lose to the fight, especially if he let go of the sword, he could be left vulnerable and left to kill. And while he is a capable fighter, he mostly requires others, like an army or so, to mostly win his fights in some time. But he is pretty much usually come with defense, and his shield, well, it's mostly used as defense. And while Jason is somewhat of a superhuman with his power, with the Morphing Grid, he is not invisible as well, mainly because he is still a teenager during this time. Again, we are just using this as well. Still, it does have some huge things to say. That being said, if he takes too much damage from any opponent, especially when his own teammates Tommy over, he get able to be more back to his human self, where even though he is a talented martial artist, he can still be easily defeated no matter what you say. But still, both of them are skilled leaders, and based on their own, they're strongest, and pretty much proven why they are leader. However, this is about between the leaders. if I can say one thing, well, I'm not gonna say who's the winner here because we got an animation. So please sit back and see who wins this animation. Well, at least no one died in this episode. Well, anyways, that being the case, Jason still wins the fight, and I know many people have a lot of questions saying, "Oh, what? How is it possible? I thought the Red Ranger could lose this fight." Okay, but all seriousness, this fight was interesting, but in the end, Jason just pretty much stomped this in the end. Okay, for starters, let's get out of the way. Intelligence. While Marth is a capable leader and battles against a sorcerer Angus, which is impressive, but here's the thing between leadership of both Jason and Marth. Marth had fought sorcerer and magics, while Jason mostly had much more experience which comes with powerful foes like say Zed and Rhea. But that's saying a bunch because let's be honest, if I were given intelligence and experience, I had to go to Jason. If you were compared to his previous adventures, to be honest. Plus, with the Morphic Grid on his side, Jason just pretty much had much more better advantages in durability, especially with speed as well. While Marth does have some boost with the pumpkin, but that's saying much because it does mostly boost his physical status. Even then, it's still not enough to reach Jason. Which just leads to the only debate between the powers of what they have, that being the Morphic Grid and the Vulcan. The Vulcan can be able to scale to create back to young Grant, where he beats up with acid before, which is also another state that, well, at best, with the Vulcan, it can't able to compare to Bronco the previous one that defeated Monus. Impressively, in case with country level, that's not enough to be honest, because if we compare it to other people like say Troy from Power Rangers Mega Force, basically rock that causes solar eclipse, it pretty much comes down to that, and raising enough pertaining to this, it will take up about 714 zillion times TNT. To put it simply, this fight was pretty much stomped. No matter what you say, this fight was somewhat a total fire, but based on not perfect time for Marth. The winner is J.C. Lee Scott.
Get ready for the next battle. Sai, 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 sai,